Welcome. In this presentation, I'll discuss how the copyright lesson I created for students aligns with the Assure model. I'll explain each step and how the lesson addresses learner needs, instructional strategies, and assessment. For the Analyze Learner step, the lesson is designed for students who are generally comfortable navigating online platforms but have limited understanding of copyright laws and digital responsibility. The activity acknowledges that while most learners are adept at using technology, they may not fully grasp how to ethically and legally use online materials. To address diverse needs, I considered multiple learning styles: visual, auditory, and kinesthetic, to ensure engagement and comprehension for all students. Visual learners benefit from clearly labeled graphics and step-by-step visual guides. Auditory learners gain understanding through teacher-led discussions and video explanations. And kinesthetic learners participate in interactive, hands-on activities that involve applying copyright concepts to real-life digital scenarios. Additionally, captions and accessible visuals are incorporated to support students with different language or accessibility needs. To extend learning opportunities, gifted and advanced students can explore optional enrichment materials such as deeper case studies, Creative Commons databases, or copyright simulations tasks that challenge them to apply the concepts at a higher cognitive level. The lesson objectives are clearly defined and measurable to ensure both instructional alignment and accurate assessment of student learning. By the end of the lesson, students will be able to define key copyright related terms such as copyright, fair use, public domain, and infringement in their own words, demonstrating foundational knowledge. They will identify real world and classroom based examples that illustrate each concept, showing their ability to distinguish between lawful and unlawful uses of creative materials. Students will then explain the basic legal principles that govern the use of copyrighted works in educational settings, referencing criteria such as purpose, amount, nature, and effect on the market value of the original work. Finally, students will apply their understanding by analyzing short hypothetical scenarios, determining whether each situation represents fair use or copyright infringement, and justifying their reasoning. These objectives guide both instruction and assessment by providing clear performance indicators for learning. They ensure that teaching activities, such as definitions, examples, and scenario analysis, directly connect to assessment methods, such as exit tickets, short quizzes, or rubric-based scenario evaluations. In doing so, the objectives support mastery of the content and help both the teachers and the students measure progress toward a concrete learning outcome. Demonstrated understanding of copyright rules and fair use in academic and digital contexts. I selected a lecture style presentation supported by multimedia slides to effectively communicate key copyright concepts to students in a clear and engaging format. This method allows for direct instruction that builds foundational understanding while also maintaining student attention through visual and auditory reinforcement. The presentation format aligns with diverse learning preferences, appealing to visual learners through imagery and graphics, auditory learners through narration and sound, and verbal learners through clearly displayed key terms and definitions. The materials include a variety of images, icons, charts, and captions, all designed to enhance both comprehension and accessibility. For instance, copyright and fair use symbols help students visualize legal concepts. Captions and on-screen text provide reinforcement for students who benefit from written cues or who may have hearing impairments. Additionally, the use of color-coded slides, consistent design elements, and strategic pacing helps organize complex information into digestible parts. These multimedia components not only make the content more engaging, but also adhere to universal design for learning principles. Ensuring that all students, including those with diverse abilities or English language learners, can access and understand the lesson material. By integrating both visual and auditory elements, the presentation promotes active cognitive processing, making abstract legal ideas like ownership, permission, and fair use more concrete and memorable for students. Ultimately, the chosen method and materials support the lesson's instructional goals by blending clarity, engagement, and accessibility in a way that aligns with ninth grade learners' developmental and academic needs. For utilized media and materials, I ensured that all slides were designed with clear readability, including high contrast text, appropriate font size, and consistent color schemes. The narration is carefully synchronized with the visuals so that students can follow along without confusion or cognitive overload. Each slide advances in alignment with key discussion points to maintain engagement and flow. In addition, closed captions, when available, and on-screen text are included to support accessibility, ensuring that students with hearing impairments, English language learners, or those who prefer reading along can fully participate. These features make the lesson more inclusive, equitable, and aligned with best practices for universal design and learning environments. Although the video presentation is lecture only, opportunities for student participation are intentionally built into the follow-up classroom activities. After viewing the lesson, students can engage in guided discussions, analyze real or hypothetical copyright scenarios, and share their reasoning with peers. These collaborative activities help reinforce understanding by allowing students to apply the concepts from the lecture, such as fair use, infringement, and attribution, to practical examples. This structure transforms the passive viewing experience into active learning, encouraging deeper comprehension and critical thinking about copyright rules. Evaluation is guided by a detailed rubric that measures students' ability to define key copyright terms, accurately identify examples of protected and unprotected works, and apply copyright and fair use principles to realistic scenarios. Each criterion assesses both comprehension and application, ensuring that students demonstrate not just memorization, but practical understanding. The rubric also provides structured feedback, allowing teachers to assess areas where students may need further clarification. This feedback informs instructional adjustments, such as revising explanations, adding visual examples, or integrating supplemental practice activities to strengthen overall learning outcomes. Here's the rubric designed to evaluate student understanding of copyright concepts. It focuses on four key criteria: knowledge of terms, which assesses how accurately students define and use copyright vocabulary. Identification of copyrighted works, which measures their ability to distinguish between protected and public domain materials. Application of rules, which evaluates how well they apply copyright and fair use principles to real or hypothetical situations. And clarity of presentation or explanations, which reflects their ability to communicate ideas effectively and support their reasoning with accurate examples. Together, these criteria provide a balanced assessment of both comprehension and practical application. In summary, the copyright lesson aligns with all steps of the Assure model by analyzing learner needs, setting measurable objectives, selecting and utilizing effective multimedia, engaging students through application activities, and assessing learning with a clear rubric. The use of visuals, narration, and examples ensures that content is both accessible and engaging for diverse learners. By combining structured instruction with opportunities for discussion and evaluation, the lesson provides a comprehensive and effective approach to helping students understand and apply copyright rules responsibly. These references support the lesson by grounding the content in credible, authoritative sources from educational and legal organizations. They provide accurate, up-to-date information on copyright laws, fair use, and ethical digital practices. In addition, they serve as valuable extension resources for both students and educators who wish to explore the topic further, offering guidance on proper attribution, classroom use of media, and protecting original work. By including these references, the lesson promotes continued learning and encourages responsible digital citizenship. Thanks for watching.